Welcome back, everyone, to Recruiting Thursday here on the Westmoreland Sports Network. Jack Ridenour with you all, and today we are joined by Penn-Trafford football player and recent Temple football commit, Conlan Greene. Conlan, great to get you on the show today, my friend, and also a big congratulations to you. How's it going, and also, how does it feel to make this decision?
I'm doing good. It's a little bit of relief. All this is a little stressful, but definitely excited about it, and I'm confident that it's the right decision. I'm pumped for it.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the kind of the relief that there is when you make that decision. What was this process like for you from really start to finish and just the whole recruiting journey?
I mean, it's just something you can't plan for. Something different every day. Kind of hard to plan for it, but something different every day. I mean, it's something special to go through. I mean, and I'm very fortunate to go through it. But even though I say it's stressful, it's a cool thing to do, to meet people and see places that you never think you'd ever get the opportunity to see.
It's incredible what sports can do, right? And just like where it can take you and whatnot. And like you said, being able to go to these different schools, different coaches and different players and whatnot, you really get to kind of broaden your horizon a little bit. But I want to dive into your decision to go to Temple. What made you want to go to Temple? I mean, what was it that drew you into the university?
I mean, just, being down there, talking to the coaches, players, you can really tell it's family down there. And that's one big thing I was looking for whenever I wanted to make a decision was, being able to feel at home, even though I'm not going to be at home. So I mean, Temple feels like a second home to me because I've been down there a few times, and the coaches, players are just hospitable, and whenever you come down, and it's all family down there, and you can tell they really care about that stuff.
Well, it's unique because I think that, I've had a lot of your teammates from Penn-Trafford on. They all kind of talk about that same atmosphere on the Penn-Trafford football team of kind of the family and that kind of dynamic that Coach John Ruane really breathes into you guys and the entire program. But I know that you have another year of high school, and I know that you've had a couple other teammates that have also, kind of early committed into where they're going to be going to school next. So what was it that kind of took you into the direction of wanting to make the decision now as opposed to waiting another year?
I mean, I would definitely say last season, I mean, I didn't want to rush anything, but I knew like if I knew where I wanted to go, I wanted to make the decision early so I can focus on having another great season with my teammates and Coach Ruane. We plan on taking it far again this year. So just being able to set aside that college stuff and focus on the football season was a really big thing for me.
Yeah, that's something that I've often found that a lot of people, they kind of want to, again, not get it over with, but just have it kind of push to the side. And like you said, you don't have to worry about it. You can focus on the season that you guys will have coming up this year. But I want to get into this past season because obviously you had the tremendous run, right? Winning the state title and just all of the exciting and very, again, exhilarating stuff that was going around your team this year. What was it like for you to be a part of that and just going through that entire run? And then also, when did you kind of start noticing yourself where things were really picking up and you said, this can really happen, us winning a state title?
I mean, obviously, the very early in the season, those first two losses we had in a row against Bell Vernon and Peters, you could tell like before and after those practices, it was a different mentality with coach and even the senior guys that were leading the practices. You could tell like it was business after that, and all the work we put in, like throughout the season, each game, each week, you could tell the longer we played, the more we got together, the more we played together, and the better we started playing. And I would say the peak performance we had was that Exeter game, and we were lights out on both sides of the ball, special teams, and coach preaches special teams is where the games are won, and that was a perfect example of that.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned the two losses you guys had early on in the year, because I feel like that was kind of a crossroads for you guys almost. You win the first two and then you drop those next two. Were there any conversations that you upperclassmen were having amongst each other, or just maybe conversations that the players were kind of leading and not really Coach John Ruane, where you guys said, hey, listen, we got to buckle down and it's we're either going to go all the way or we're going to just give up now? I mean, were there kind of conversations like that behind closed doors?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, even in the locker room during practices, stuff like that, we had some of the upperclassmen talking to these younger guys, telling them like, "Hey, this is part of life. It's adversity. You're gonna have to overcome it, or you're gonna quit." And you could tell these younger guys didn't want to quit, so they overcame it, and we took that past the rest of the season. You could definitely see what happened there.
Yeah, you guys carried that all the way through, obviously, and then heading into that state title game against Ematep Charter. You guys were the underdogs, right? There were a lot of people on the side saying that you guys weren't going to really, be able to do much against them, but then you obviously proved those naysayers wrong. So, what was the mindset heading into that game and that week, just going up against Ematep Charter?
Yeah, I mean, I think we fed off the underdog mentality because the whole way through the playoffs and even some of our later regular season games, we weren't supposed to win. And seeing some of these publishers saying, "Oh, Penn-Trafford's the underdog," I think we didn't we didn't think we were the underdogs. We thought we need to go out there and show them what it's all about. And I think we use that underdog mentality to kind of feed our energy into those games, and then we came out on top on almost all of them.
How did it feel being able to prove those naysayers wrong when you guys were able to capture the state title?
It definitely felt good, just to sit back and prove people wrong is definitely a thing that we like to do because a lot of people doubted us, and we didn't doubt ourselves, and especially Coach Wayne talking about how all these people are going to say you can't do it, you can't do it, but we went out there, never believed them, and did what we thought we were able to do.
Yeah, and I think that, on top of that, you had a major, major part in that victory. I know, if I'm not mistaken, you threw a touchdown pass at one point during that game. You also had the game-sealing sack. So I want to hear, just from your point of view and just for you personally, what did it mean to you individually being able to come up for your team in those big opportunities and just really, and again, being able to capture that game-sealing sack? I mean, what's going through your mind when that's going on?
I mean, yeah, it was definitely a crazy point in the season. Never thought it would have happened, but I mean, obviously, the defensive backs, without them, that sack wouldn't have happened, and the line receivers, all of them drawing it on that jump pass play. I mean, it was a full team effort, and I would never take full credit for either of those plays because without my teammates, none of that would happen.
Well, I know that heading into this season, you're going to be without two major teammates that you guys had this past year, Carter Greene, Cade Yakimelli. What's kind of been the overall just kind of feeling around the team this early part of the offseason? And then also, where do you feel like there could be maybe some adjustments that you all have to kind of get used to with them not being on the team this upcoming season?
I mean, yeah, it's definitely going to be tough this season not having a running back like Cade Yakimelli, but we definitely have a bunch of young guys and guys who are ready to step up. And I think we're going to have people to fill those spots and do just as well. It's going to be a different type of season this year, but I have full confidence in all my teammates that we got a shot and we're going to try and do it. We're going to try and make a run again.
Well, I know that you're going to obviously be playing, some of the defensive side of the ball, obviously at Penn-Trafford, but also when you go off to the collegiate rankings. But I know you had a little bit of an opportunity at quarterback this past year. So I want to ask, has there been any talks about maybe you taking some snaps or, kind of filtering you into the quarterback position with the position kind of being open right now?
Yeah, I mean, I've been repping at practice a little bit, but where whenever the season comes, Coach Wayne's going to make his choices, and wherever I fit, that's where I'm going to play and do my best for my team.
So I know we've mentioned a lot about Coach Ruane, and I want to hear from you. What is it that you think has allowed him to have this much success with this program year after year? I mean, what is it that he maybe shares with you all, or maybe there's some sort of mantra he has? What is it that has allowed him to really build this program up to where it's at right now?
I mean, yeah, definitely like the stuff he preaches and the way he coaches, you can tell like these kids, they enjoy it and they take from it. And some of the assistant coaches, the guys he picks are people that, are trustworthy, and the kids trust these people that they know what they're talking about. So, I mean, nobody ever really slacks off at practice because we're always all focused in, and coach preaches brotherhood, and some kids hanging out, some of the older guys with the younger guys. That's another thing Coach Wayne preaches. I think that's a big part of football as well, not only on the field but off the field. bonding with your teammates will definitely help it on the field as well.
What kind of team bonding activities you guys usually do off the field?
I mean, sometimes you get a group of guys, you go hang out, swim. Some guys go golfing. I mean, these that kids like to do. I've heard of some kids going bowling, but they make sure there's a group chat we text. You make sure you text everyone, and no one's left out. Most of the time, a decent amount of people show up, and it's always a good time.
I think that carries right over to the football field, right? I mean, we see it when you guys are out there every single Friday night, just that connectivity and that being able to be kind of all on the same page. It comes from all that off the field stuff where you guys are getting together on off hours. But Conlan, it's been great to get you on the show today. And again, big congratulations to you. Before we let you go, one last question, and I want to hear from you. What's something that you're going to be taking from this past season and trying to carry over and apply into this upcoming year?
Definitely the success we had last year, and hopefully instead of having those 2 losses early in the season, hopefully, starting off the season like we did after those 2 games. That'd be a big thing for this year, and that's one of the goals I have.
Well, again, Conlan, congratulations on the big commitment, and good luck the rest of this summer, and good luck this season. We're excited to see you guys back out there on Friday nights.
Thank you.